Hi there, it's another beautiful day and you are joining us on the CASA Move TV show right here on CASA TV. My name is Rebecca Minville and I'll be your host. Guess what? Today promises to be very exciting and very educative. I'd implore you, especially for our graduates, tell a friend to tell a friend. Stay glued to your seat. Join us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and today in the studio we have with me Elder Samuel Laryea. He is the programs coordinator for OBS International and he is the church secretary for Central Assembly. You're welcome, Elder Laryea.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm glad to be here.
Your pleasure is all mine. And the first time ever having a female panelist joining us, and she is a two-time General Secretary for CASA Legon. She is currently the National Service Personnel at the University of Ghana Institute for African Studies and a very young CEO of the Instroma Adventures. Miss Ruby Manko, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having us and honoring our invitation. Today we are talking about national service. What is the knowledge of national service out there, starting from Elder Laryea?
Okay, thank you very much. I think national service is a mandatory one-year commitment that the law requires from every graduate from an accredited institution. And so it is not optional. Once you graduate from an accredited institution, the mandate is that we all undertake a one-year service for the nation. And so it's an act backed by law, and it's fully enforced by the National Service Secretariat. Yeah.
Okay, great. Back to that, it's being constitutional and then the need for us to do it. Ms. Manko, do you think it's a pleasure for us to even go into it right after going into our tertiary education?
Yes, to me, I think national service is more of a preparation ground. It's a free ground for fresh graduates to come in and enhance on what they have learned in school. So yes, it's very necessary because you have that free ground. Nobody is correcting you or minusing you on whatever you do. You have the opportunity to learn and build yourself, and it's something that it's supposed to be enhanced on during. Yes.
Okay, great. Something that should be enhanced. Elder Laryea, can you tell us some experiences you've had during your time serving as the National Service Personnel?
Thank you very much. And to add to what my sister said, I believe that we do not really get a hold of all the experiences and the skills we need in the classroom. And so national service comes in handy to give us hands-on experience and I would say relevant exposures to the world out there. And one thing also is that nobody can really tell what test life will throw at us. And so it is very, very important that we wholly embrace the National Service Initiative and pursue it with all our strength, knowing that there is something good there for us. And for my experience, I had my national service with the Produce Buying Company in Tema. It's a subsidiary of Cocoa Board. And coming from the background as an engineering student, I seriously wanted a national service so bad that I thought it would give me the opportunity to try something new apart from engineering. And so we went in there, and unfortunately I was taken to an engineering-based workshop, but that was not exactly what I wanted. And so it was a big challenge. Throughout my first week, I was really down because I felt, yes, it was just for a year, but 1 year can also mean a lot to a person's career path. And so I had to take a few steps to make sure it's changed. And eventually it was changed. I was sent to the technical stores where I was exposed to a lot of things and I learned so much. And I believe as we go on, I'll share some of these experiences.
Wow, wow. So to you sitting out there, he says he's going to share a whole lot of experiences. Still stay glued to your seat. Back to Miss Ruby, you are still in having your service, hoping to end somewhere maybe next month. What were your expectations when you were going in?
Okay, so I knew what I wanted, yes, and I was expecting to learn more on the field. I was expecting to build up myself personally as well. And generally, my experience has been very fulfilling. The Institute of African Studies, where I happen to do my service, have been very contributing to my academic knowledge and also to my work life. Okay, because National Service has presented me the opportunity to learn more about my work ethics, my attitude towards work, and general knowledge that you need to know about your employers and how to work in a team. So National Service gave me that ground, and generally it has been fulfilling, yes.
Wow, wow. Very, very fulfilling. But back to you again, can you tell us the major setback you were coming in, especially in working in groups or teams?
Okay, so when you're in school, some of your courses you have group works. So those group works help you learn how to work with other people. Some people may fall short in their deliveries and contributions, but it also helps you to know how to work in team. So National Service gave me the ground to learn how to work in team. But generally, my setback, or I speak for all National Service personnel, our setback has been the delay in allowance. That has been the major setback, the delay in allowance, because we started our service in September. Then the first allowance was paid in December.
Wow.
Yes, it was paid in December. I started in September, some others started in October. It was paid in December, and going forward, it's always delays. They pay 3 months or 2 months like backwards. Yes, so the general challenge has been the National Service Allowance.
Oh, so bad. But we know our leaders, government leaders are listening to us. We have potential leaders in the church and out there. Hopefully they are working on it, and maybe there might even be an increase. I guess we would all call in for an increase.
Yes, I heard there has been some discussions on increasing the National Service Allowance, but nothing official has come out yet. So please don't raise your hopes high.
But I think we have to pray. We just have to hope for it. Yes. Back to Elder Laryea, you were telling us you had so many experiences to share. Can you tell us what was most beneficial to you during your time of national service?
Yeah, I think one significant thing was working with people who you felt you've gone to school more, who you felt you were qualified more than them. Getting the humility to work under them and to take instructions from them. Yes, I think there was a humbling experience. And one other thing was I learned humility on the job. Integrity on the job, I should say. Yes, because we were in charge of spare parts, we were in charge of logistics. And these were things that people can easily pick up. They were things that people can easily steal. Yes, but you would have to still maintain that sort of credibility and trust that everyone had in you. And also, so apart from humility and integrity, one lesson that I picked up was from one of the drivers. There was a time he got close to me and he told me, he used this phrase, it was like, yes, I'm massa, not a kill person. So to which what he meant was that listening, taking instructions from people and learning would do you no harm. Take this place as a training field, and even if you are not maintained, unless you would go out with something that is more than the job you would have gotten. And so I feel that these were lessons I picked up that have stayed with me for all this while. You see, the general expectation for service personnel is retention.
Yeah.
Yes, and just like any other person, that is how I went into this. I was hoping that I would be retained. But unfortunately, you see, it was more like a government institution, and for what I saw, I realized that unless someone leaves, yes, unless someone leaves, it's difficult for you to be pushed in, especially in the same office. And so you'd have to pray that someone goes on leave, someone goes on retirement, transfer, or in the unfortunate situation of death, then you know that you'll be considered. Yes, but I didn't get it like that. Unfortunately, nobody left, and so I had to end my service. But thankfully, I got a job even during, you see, there is 1 month for leave for national service personnel. And during that 1 month, I had my first job, and I feel it was as a result of the experiences I had from my national service. I worked so hard that there was a time that we had to move out for elections for district or national service presidents and coordinators and all that. I was the only person who went to job.
Wow.
I went to the work, and people were asking me, why are you here, why are you there, and all that. But I realized that there was, we had a challenge at the office, and I needed to be there because one of the guys had gone on leave. If I don't go, it will be left with one person, and the guy is really going to suffer. So I had to go. And at the back of my mind, it was not even because I was seriously bent on building the character. I was just working hard, so when they want to consider someone to retain, I'll be retained. But unfortunately, I didn't get that. And so I got something better than retention, the experience and the character that I was able to build as a result of my service.
Okay, great. With our core values coming to view, Miss McCoy, can you tell us, or were you ever faced with a chance where your core values, your integrity, as he said, or any other moral views that you hold so high come into a point that you have to choose, in for it or out?
Okay, before that, I would like to talk about integrity.
Okay.
You did mention it. And there was one day in my office, our administrator called us to his office, Mr. William Masari. He's the Senior Assistant Registrar at the Institute of African Studies. So he called us to his office, and the reason is to talk to us about integrity. Okay, so these are things that you don't learn in the classroom.
Yeah.
These are things you don't learn in the classroom. He sat us down, taught us about the need to be integrate in whatever thing that we do. Okay, for people to be able to trust us with information, for people to be able to trust us with their time. And when they tell you that be there at 8, you'll be able to be there at 8. When they ask you to deliver something at this particular date, they know and they are assured that this person will be able to deliver it. He taught us about the need to have positive attitude towards work. And to me, that general experience where I did my service has been very, very contributing to my morals. Yes. And to talk about national service and where I'm doing my service, a point where I had to choose, I don't think I was faced with any points where I had to choose. Because where I did my service, I'm currently doing it, has been very welcoming.
Okay.
Very welcoming and educative in enhancing my personal abilities.
Okay, we are very much appreciative of it. I hope each and everyone who is watching can also stand up to their morals, especially their integrity. But can you tell us,